Hey everybody, welcome to Lessons from the Cockpit. Let's get started. Hey, welcome to Lessons from the Cockpit. I am so thrilled you're here today. For those of you joining us for the first time, I'm Belinda Sandor. I'm the founder of the VA Connection, where I coach and mentor established and aspiring VAs to create, grow, and scale their VA businesses. So I work with my students in my free online community, my courses, and my coaching programs. And today I'm going to be your host for Lessons from the Cockpit. And we're going to talk about something really important today. We're going to talk about systems. We're going to talk about how systems really create success, not only in your business, but in your entire life, and how you can look for patterns and build upon them when you are when you're trying to make an improvement. All right. So I'd love to hear where you're coming in from. It looks like we've got George. Hello, Frederica's here. That's awesome. And we're sharing into the large group today, and also so we're on Facebook in the VIP Club, VA School. We're also in Facebook on our business page and our main group, the VA Connection. I've shared into all of those. We're on LinkedIn, we're on YouTube, all the things. So welcome. I'm glad you're here. So let me know where you're coming in from. Like I said, today we're going to talk about systems and how important they are and how you can use them no matter what you're doing. And I know that for the things that work successfully in your life, you likely have a system. And so we're going to break that down and talk about how to expand that into your business world. And before we do that, I do want to introduce myself. So if you are someone who is struggling for what to do in the next chapter in your life, whether it's the next decade or the next year or literally the next minute, this is definitely for you. I think you'll be able to relate to this. So this is me and my daughter, Emily. This was us way back in 2010. And I was standing in the middle of a failed business, struggling, trying to figure out what I was going to do next. I didn't have a job. I had a ton of debt, and I was about to turn 50. And I felt like I was at the end of a dead end road. And I wasn't even living paycheck to paycheck. It was more like minute to minute, just trying to figure out what am I going to do? And I had started trying to get a job. I thought that would be the fastest way to recover from my failed business. So I spent a significant amount of time on my LinkedIn profile, contacting employment agencies, reaching out to past colleagues, and nothing was happening. And I was getting really discouraged, and I didn't know, I couldn't wait to make money any longer. I'm sure some of you have been in that situation. So I decided to do temp work. So I was a secretary back in the dark ages, and temp work is contract work, essentially. And it's the type of temp work I was doing was short term. So a week, 2 days, 3 days. And the thing that was great about it was, so I was making money. I liked it. I liked being helpful. As VAs, we have the heart of a helper, right? That's just part of who we are. And we love it when that gets put to use. And so, I was making a difference, and I loved it. Now, what I didn't like was the commute, the large percentage of the fees that the employment agency was taking out, and the wardrobe that I needed, right? That while that's fun, wardrobes are expensive. And my aha moment was, I thought, okay, hold on. What if I could do the same type of work, offer these same types of services, but instead of going through the employment agency, what if I could go directly? And I didn't even know about being a VA. Very few people were VAs back in 2010. There wasn't even Google back then. And so I thought, all right, so what can I do? So I'm at the school bus stop. I'm waiting for Emily. I'm percolating on this idea. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? And one of the dads says, what's new? And I said, well, this is what I'm working on. I'm thinking about starting my own business, doing admin work for, entrepreneurs, small businesses. I don't really know anyone that needs help, but I'm just trying to figure this out because I've been temping, and I want to go direct. His entire face lights up, and he says, wait, what? And I tell him, explain a little bit more. And he says, I started a business a month ago. I had no idea. And he said, "Can we meet today?" And I said, "You bet." So we met at the local ice cream store. It's called JP Licks. And I remember we sat in the booth all the way in the back. And I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to get to work with this guy. I love him. Known him for a long time. He's known me. So the trust is already there. And so I started right away. And I started doing things like paying his bills, installing software on the computer, and just managing the day to day for him. And it changed everything for him. And it changed everything for me because now all of a sudden I have a flow of money. And I was thinking, okay, I love this. I love this. And I love the flexibility, the time flexibility. And then from there, I got my second client it was probably a couple months later, and I met him in the wedding line of a wedding reception of all places. And the cool thing about that was that work was remote. And it's interesting because he also wanted me to do something I didn't know how to do. And I thought, okay, like, how's this going to go? So I just told him, I was straight with him, I don't know how to do that. And he said, yeah, but would you figure it out? And I was like, okay, so I'm going to work remote. You're going to pay me to figure something out. Yes. So I figured it out. And the thing is that this was such a huge step because now I'm working with people who they want me to learn new things, which I love doing. I'm helping them, I'm getting paid, and I have time flexibility. Okay, cool. So then 2 years later, so I'm doing this, I'm getting clients, it's going. And the first year I made $70,000, which blew my mind. The next year I make $100,000. And that year I meet my now husband. And I don't think I mentioned it, but in all the turmoil, I was also getting divorced. So I meet my now husband, Greg. Now he lives 164 miles away from me. So this is a thing. So now I'm really motivated to try to figure out how to take my business, Rocket Girl Solutions, 100% remote because I want to be with him, right? And he works in New York. He's tied to the train. He's tied to the commute, all the things. And I have this time flexibility, but I need to take it next level. So I put all my systems in the cloud. I move all of my clients to remote. They're all fine with it. A couple of them, I did kind of explain, well, this is how this is going to work. And they were great. And I continued to get new clients. So now I'm 100% online. I'm able to work wherever I want. So I'm working at the barn with Emily. I'm working at the softball field. I'm working in Connecticut. I'm working in Boston. I'm working all the places and making a consistent income. And it's amazing. And so now we have this ripple effect where I've worked with enough people that clients are starting to refer me to other people. My work is dependable, it's steady, and I learned how to make my business grow. And as a virtual assistant, I've worked with hundreds of clients and thousands of entrepreneurs like you and build over 20,000 hours to help you get your businesses off the ground as well. It's funny because I go into the kitchen sometimes at lunch and I'm like saying to Greg, you've got to pinch me. You've got to pinch me because this is my family now. This is David, Charlie, Emily, Stephen, and Andy. And this is on our wedding day in 2021. And, I had another pinch me moment today. So we moved into this amazing farmhouse in April, and I'm still unpacking. And today I unpacked a cradle that my father, who's passed away, oh my gosh, let's see, Emily's 21 years ago. My father made for her dolls when she was a baby, and there's never been a place in our home for this for a really long time, at least 15 years. And so I've got this cradle and it's in our guest room, and I'm just so happy. I can't even tell you. And the thing about it is that it's because I got clear in what I wanted and I went for it. And it wasn't a question of, will this work? What will this not work? It's, I'm going to be happily married. I'm going to have a consistent income. I'm moving into a house. I am doing these things. And what do I need to do to make that happen? What are the steps that I need to take? And virtual assistants was at the core of it because that was my vehicle to get to all the places that I wanted, to make the money I wanted, to have the time flexibility, to have this relationship, and to be with Emily wherever she needed me to be. So if you're thinking about this, I really strongly suggest that you jump on board. It's a powerful, powerful place to be. And I would love to help you make this a success for you. All right. So, your life doesn't have to be conventional. It really doesn't. I had my daughter when I was 40. I started my career as a virtual assistant at 50. I married the man I've been looking for my whole life at 60. And here I am, at 63, unpacking into this lovely old farmhouse that's, it's from the 1880s. Every surface needs to be touched. And we're really, we've sort of calmed down and we're enjoying it and relaxing into it. And it's a lot of fun. So let's jump into this topic of systems. Okay. So here's something interesting. So if you've been around me for the spring and the summer, mostly the summer, I've been talking about blueberries like crazy. All right, blueberries. Now we moved. It's so funny because we have a joke around here where I say to Greg, I would have moved, I would have bought this house for this. It's like we bought the house for so many reasons, but there were so many surprises that we had when we moved in, and the blueberry bushes were one of them. So we have these 3 giant bushes in the front yard. They're very scraggly. And one day I walked over to them with Greg and I'm like, do we have to take these out? What are these? Like, this is a mess. There were vines. There were you couldn't even tell what was going on. I take a picture. I send it to my friend who's a horticulturist. And I say, what is this? She's like, those are blueberry bushes. I later find out they're 30-year-old blueberry bushes. They're taller than me. I'm 5'10", and they're like super wide. This picture is me on a ladder inside the blueberry bush. So the thing this is what kind of struck me and struck this topic today. So when I first went out to pick blueberries, I had a bowl and I'm putting them in the bowl. And a bunch are falling out. And honestly, it's getting heavy and it's awkward to hold the bowl. And I'm afraid I'm going to fall off the ladder while I'm holding the bowl. Okay, that's just the thing. So I'm doing this and I'm like, all right, there's got to be a better way. So then I put a tarp underneath me because so many blueberries, I'm dropping them. And by the way, we ended up harvesting about 125 pounds of blueberries. We bought a freezer to put them in. It was so much fun. So I'm sort of shaking the bush and I'm pulling the ripe blueberries off. But then what I realize is, so now I'm on the ground with the bugs and probably the ticks, and I'm picking the blueberries out, but I'm doing it and there's sticks and bugs and leaves. And I'm like, this is not fun. Okay. So then I think, all right, I've got to figure out how to do this. So I decide that maybe there's some like blueberry apron. I have no idea. Never heard of it. Never seen it. Go on Amazon. There's a thing. It's like a fruit picking apron. So I wrap it around my waist. So now I have both hands. I can hold on to the ladder. I can be comfortable up there. And so now I'm pulling blueberries off and I'm putting them into this apron. I just keep pulling them in. Then when the apron gets heavy, I put them into a bowl. So here's my point. My point is that I have multiple points here. One is that we need systems to make our lives work. When we don't have systems, we waste a lot of time because we have to keep reinventing the wheel. So if there's something, and it could be as simple as when I walk in the house, I put the keys on the hook on the refrigerator so I don't have to look for them. That is a system, right? That is a system. The thing though is that we as human beings get frustrated when we have to improve the system. We think we should be able to figure it out the first time. And then it's like magic, like, oh, I'm just so smart. It doesn't work that way. So when it doesn't work that way, we beat ourselves up. We say we're not smart enough. We're not fill in the blank enough. And a lot of times we quit, but that's not how it works. Okay. So what I want you to know is that when your system breaks, it all it means is you need improvement, but it also means it's time to do the celebration dance. Because, for example, when our community, the VA Connection, was growing, we had a system for onboarding new members into the community. Oh, actually, it was events. We had a system for events, and it broke. The system broke. All of a sudden, the links weren't working. This wasn't happening. It was about 2 years ago, and my team was like, "Oh my gosh, it's all broken! Like, what's happening?" And I said, "Wait a minute. This is good. We outgrew the system. We need to go 2.0. And to tell you something else, we're about to go 3.0 any minute. I'm working on it right now to upgrade our system, because what happens is it gets complicated. because it's the systems when they're growing, when anything is growing, the systems get complicated because we try to accommodate for this and we try to accommodate for that. We make all these accommodations. And what we don't do is jump up and say, okay, let's look at this from 50,000 foot view. So this is an important piece of having a business. This is an important piece of having a life, right? To do mid-course corrections. And so right now at the VA Connection, we are mid-course correcting all over the place because we've grown. We're 52, maybe today I'll go look, 53,000 members. We have all kinds of events, all kinds of calendars, all kinds of students, all kinds of coaching programs. And all of this, now we have to look again. So the thing is, here's the takeaways. One is that I didn't quit picking blueberries because the bowl was heavy, right? I just kept going and figuring out what's next. And then it even goes further because now Greg is so into blueberries, and me too. Like I can't even tell you. I took 3 full Fridays off from my work and I spent all day outside picking blueberries. It like best ever, and the joke is I would have bought the house for the blueberries, and so the thing is that I didn't figure out right away. I'd never picked blueberries in my life. I didn't Google how to pick blueberries, right? I'm just thinking, okay, well, the bowl sounds good. And then this, and then, and then you just keep sort of iterating until you find something that works. And then now that it works, I can go even beyond. So there's a blueberry bush that we bought on the back porch, and we're going to, this is the plan anyway. We're going to buy more blueberries, and we might even plant a whole field of blueberries, because wouldn't that be such a cool business to have blueberries and have people come and they can pick them. This is long-term vision. Okay. They can come and pick them. Maybe we have a stand and we sell them. I don't know. It was just so much fun. And it's fun to take something that you're enjoying and take it next level, right? Take it next level. But if I had stayed frustrated with the bowl and lost so many blueberries on the ground, yes, the deer and the squirrels and the turkeys that all came to eat the blueberries, they would have been maybe happier. But now I have 100 pounds of blueberries in my freezer, and I'm pretty happy about that. So just think about systems in that way, that they're iterative. You're not going to get it right. You're not going to get it right. And even when it's working, you're going to need to modify it, right? You're going to need to modify it. So let's see who all is here right now. So this is awesome. So George is here, Frederica, Heather is here, Michelle, Dea is here, Lisa is here, Amy's here. Heather says, wow, established blueberry bushes, outstanding. We've rigged a guitar strap to a basket to wear white while we harvest some of the taller fruit trees. To wear while we are harvesting. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yes, right? You need a system. Okay, good. And Tammy is here, Nancy is here, Cassandra's here, and Renita's here. That's terrific. Yeah. So you do need a system. And if you start thinking like that, like literally putting the keys on the hook in the kitchen, that is a system. And that is a system that is necessary for 2 people who are living in a house we have a lot of stuff going on here. We both have ADHD. Like the problem the exciting thing about ADHD is that our brains are going and our bodies most of the time so quickly that we're over here and we're not present to what we're doing here. So that's been a big challenge for me to stay present in the moment, because that's where life is happening, right? It's not happening in the future where my mind might be. But to really stay present and put the keys, and create these systems that make life work. And Barb just joined us. Hello. All right. So think about that. And the main thing I want you to take away here is that systems are iterative. I know I've said that like 20 times, but I know that people miss that. They think that if the system breaks, there's something wrong with them or they can't figure it out. And this is true with clients as well. I've said this to clients, where we're doing something and it breaks and I say, congratulations, we just broke the system. All right. That's a good thing, because now we're going to make it better. Good. I'm so glad you're all here. It's nice to see you. And I know that there's some new names here that I haven't seen before, which is very exciting. I want to invite you to come over to our Facebook group. the VA Connection over on Facebook and join us if you're not there already. If you're watching us on YouTube and you're not a subscriber, please click subscribe and ring the bell. We've got, I think about, I have to go over and look, but we might be close to 800 videos these days. Lots of information for you over there. All right. So thank you for joining me for Lessons from the Cockpit. This is one of my favorite topics, systems. So think about the systems you can put in place to make your life work, to make your business work, and celebrate when it breaks, because that means you get to do the fun part, which is to make it better. Okay. Have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.